back. This is David, back with another Your Southern Picks video. Today I'm gonna do a little work on a pressure washer my nephew gave me. He was having problems. It's just pouring gas out the float bowl and just hitting the ground and having some problems when it was running. Water's leaking out the pressure valve. We're going to check that out and see what we can figure out what's going on with it. But right now, for starters, we're going to just put a carburetor on it, and we're going to go with that and see if that won't take care of the running issue and the gas leaking everywhere. So I ordered me a new carburetor off of Amazon. I try to keep all my parts coming from Amazon. I get better deals on there and good quality parts. So, but let's go ahead and see if we can't get with it, and I'll show y'all what we can do with it. That's it right there. It is a 2400 PSI PowerMate pressure washer, and it seems to be a Briggs & Stratton, probably about a 5 horse maybe on there, looks like. And like I said, when we turn the gas on over here, it just pours down onto the ground. So instead of taking this one apart and trying to clean it and all that, it's just cheaper to get on Amazon and just get you another carburetor, stick it on there, and never have to worry about it again. But you gotta need to put some stabilizer in the gas, that way the gas don't go bad. This right here is that pressure valve I was talking about. He said it's leaking when you're running the pressure washer. This one even comes with a hose you can stick in a bucket of soap, and while you're pressure washing, and it'll suck it up in there with the low pressure nipple that's on here, and it'll spray soap all over whatever you're washing, like your car, your house, don't matter. But well, let's get started with it and see what we can figure out. Bring it over here a little closer where I can sit down. I got some tools out here, and we're gonna start right here in the front. Got a Phillips screwdriver there, Phillips screw head there. Looks like a good place to start. We're gonna take the screws out of the breather box. Try to do all this one-handed best I can for a minute. Lay your screws down where they won't get lost. We'll make sure your fuel filter and everything is all, not the fuel filter, but the air cleaner and filter is all clean, not too dirty looking. Take that bolt out so it don't fall out on me later. And it looks pretty clean in there. I'll lay everything down here in a nice little neat pile. Inside here we've got this metal plate. We'll put it on top of the filter right there like that, so you can remember it goes in first. That goes in, that goes in, that goes in last. That goes in, that goes in, then that goes in last. We keep track of them. Inside here I have two bolts, two nuts rather, and those are 10 millimeter. So I got a 10 millimeter socket here and a ratchet. So that's going to be our next step. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to loosen these bolts up. This is a little harder to get to. So, like I said, I'm trying to do this a little bit one-handed. Alright, I got them both loose, so take them out with my fingers now. That was a little up in a little tight corner there, a little harder to get to. So
See how it does. Alright, lay that down there so it don't get lost. Take this other one off over here. Okay, it fell down. We got it. I'll put it with the rest of them so that it don't get lost. Okay, now we got that out. You'll notice there's a little chrome metal plate on there. You can just pull on this back and forth a little bit. It'll metal plate come off. Fell down on the ground, which is good. It had to come off and pull the box off. I think that box has been over tightened a couple times. Looks like to me that's that bow out and stuff, and that's why it's being hard to come off, and probably the same way going back on. Well, now we can see the carburetor a whole lot better. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take, well, that's already off of there a little bit, a clamp, but that's a good thing. We're going to take the fuel line off. What I usually do is just take a screwdriver, get down in behind it and pull up on it, and it should come off of there pretty easy. Then just get the hand finger in behind it and pull on it. That's all. Like that. Now, here we have your carburetor linkage on top right there. So we got to do that is, what I like to do is take the carburetor off the bolts first. Then you can turn it and twist it. Pulls right off of there. Then you got that spring that goes in that other little hole right there beside of it. Helps kick the throttle back when you let off the throttle. And what I want to do is take the spring right out of that little hole, and it just sits there. It ain't, you know. Now here's the old carburetor, all in one piece, nothing fancy, just like I said, cheaper to buy a new one off of Amazon. Amazon's got great prices, guys. If you notice up against the block here, it's got a bushing and it has a gasket on the back. So we're gonna see what we got here in this bag I got from Amazon. Actually got delivered after dark last night. So it got delivered on a Sunday night, guys. That's how easy it is to get the parts from Amazon, and you get them quicker, you get them a lot cheaper, and we're going to show you what's in the package. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. We got a new gas line, which the old one looks great. Ain't no sense in changing that, but we got it. Okay. In the box we have a brand new carburetor, which we're gonna size them up, make sure they're the same. See, guys, there's no difference in them. Everything's the same, perfect. You get it pretty much perfect every time from Amazon. So remember, your gasket has got to go on before you stick it onto the bolts. And we're going to fixing to do that right here in a second. Okay, let me look in here in the box again, and I got 2 gaskets in here. Go. That gasket's not wanting to cooperate because I got the wrong one. This one here has a pinhole, and if you notice, the carburetor has a pinhole. That's that has to be open, so you take and stick that in there like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the gasket on first. Okay, let's see here. We're going to put the gasket on the bolt holes first. Well, everybody, the gasket don't look like it's the right gasket. So in that case, I might have to get the old gasket off of this carburetor. Which is going to take a little bit of work to keep from damaging it. I don't understand what the difference is in the gasket sizes. Why the gasket will be fine. I mean, I can alter it a little bit and it'll still do the same job. I can take and be able to do a little trick to it here. All it needs to seal is around here. You know, I don't need to seal where the bolts are at. So to show you a little trick we can probably pull off. Got me some little small dike cutters. And I'm going to take the gasket and I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to cut that off. See here? That ought to work just fine right there. But I'm going to do the other side the same way. So I'm going to take and cut this one here. And I'm going to cut this one over here. Now we got a gasket that looks like that. So now we want to look at the carburetor again. See the pinhole? See the pinhole? We want to make sure that goes on like it should. Okay, so now I can put that gasket on there. And like I said, it don't have to be sealed on the bolts. See, now that's gonna work, and I got a new gasket on there, so that makes me happy, makes me feel like I'm not gonna have any problems. So now you just take the new carburetor. I like to take and put the spring and the lever on first. So I'm gonna set this camera down here for a second while I do that, because I need those hands for that little spring. So always grab the little spring first, and that little pinhole there is for the spring. This one's for the rod. It's got the plastic piece in it. The rod goes in that, the spring goes in the other one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the spring on first. Just stretch it out a little bit there, pop it in. Then take the rod, turn the carburetor a little bit, just like we took it off. And it's, look, I mean, that simple. I mean, that simple. It's all in there in working condition already, and I ain't even got it on yet. Okay, you move the gas line up. We're out of the way a little bit. Push that carburetor. Push that carburetor on there. And now we can use that. Now we can use that gasket. We had to alter it a little bit, but it's still is going to serve its purpose and do what it needs to do. Now that we got that on there, let's go ahead, put our gas line back on. So we're going to raise it up a little higher, push it down on there. Don't go on far, don't have to, just past that first lip right there, and bring the clamp down there. I'm going to use my other hand, guys. Get back with you in a second. Okay, that's about where you want that clamp. Right below there's a little lip right there. That way you won't have any leaks or anything. So, looks good to me. Here's your choke. The choke on, choke off. Okay, on these carburetors, they should come from the Amazon, whatever, for straight up preset already, so you shouldn't have to do anything to them. So let's get on with it. Now we got to get this box back on here, the one that didn't want to come off. So we got to try to look from behind back here and get one in there started. Yeah, somebody is way over torqued that, I guess, because that metal piece in there. But if you just got to push on it, it goes. It's in there. Now we want to take our ring, let's turn it back around here and take our ring light come off. This ring was in here on the bolts for extra support. So I'll put this ring back up on the bolts. Come on. This really don't take long. I mean, it's just, I ain't been out here but a few minutes. But you gotta get this ring on both bolts and push it on there. There we go. That's about where it needs to be. And we got our two nuts. We'll start one. Start one and get it started on there. Like I said, this thing, you couldn't even turn the gas on. I mean, it was just all hitting the ground. So, I've cleaned these carburetors many times, but I'm planning on using this thing a lot. I appreciate my nephew for giving it to me. He done bought a new hose for it and everything. And what happened with the other one, I couldn't clean it. Actually, it wouldn't have done me any good, because what happened is that bolt in the bottom of the float bowl right there, that was over tightened. And you can take that thing right now and spin it all day long and it won't tighten up. So it won't let that gasket up here in the top of the float bowl, won't let that gasket seal. That was made in Japan. So anyway, if that bolt would tighten up, I mean, it would have been a good carburetor, but you can't fix that. So we'll throw it over here by the box. We'll continue. Get my 10mm socket. I'm going to put it on here. Also, guys, I got a Facebook page on Facebook that is a lawnmower repair and advice page. So if you're having problems with any small engine problems, you know, and you want to fix it yourself, feel free to look me up on the Facebook. And like I said, it's small engine repair and advice. And I'll try to steer you in the right direction. Now we're going to go back to one piece at a time. This goes, you'll feel it set up in a box, up in a groove, and that's where it belongs. Sets right in a square right there. That round piece always goes to the carburetor choke. Butterfly is what I call it. Then make sure your air cleaner is free from debris and all that stuff. Make sure it's clean as it's possible, and then you want to put it back in nice and neat. All in all, I mean, just for a few minutes, it's all going really good. So now we got a cover that's got to go on there. So here's the cover. So we're going to put the cover on there. Keep any dirt and debris and stuff out of there. And get one of my screws started in here. And get the one in the bottom down here started. Keep all that dirt and dust and grass and whatever out of there. Okay, Phillips screwdriver. Don't have to over tighten this, it's just plastic, so just snug it up a little bit. I'll go in here and get to this one down here. I'll get my screwdriver in there. Alright. That's done. Okay. Like I said, people, I always get my stuff, if I can, from Amazon. Because they sell good parts. You know, cheapest prices online. And I got an issue with that breather boxes not letting my choke do what it needs to do for some reason. Like it needs to. It's almost like it's spaced in. This thing is bowed up, I mean, pretty good, so that's what's causing the problems. Like I said, when you run into stuff like that, it's time to, might have to do a little more altering it, and it all still just work just the same. So I'm gonna do a little more altering, you know. Just cause it came from the store that way don't mean it has to be that way to work. Get all these engineers out there, they hire these people, they call themselves engineers, but don't mean they're right all the time. Okay, I'll take my metal plate back out again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that metal plate off that's on this side and put it on the other side. That'll bring my carburetor back away from that choke lever. See how tight that is? That ain't no, I can't even move that, and it's gotta be moved, you know, you gotta have a choke. So we're gonna make it work. We're gonna take that metal plate right there that's inside there, and we're gonna move it back here, and it's still gonna work the same. And that might have been where it was at originally. Somebody's been in here before and it didn't get put back together right. So that's gonna be my guess anyway. So okay, let's pull this back off. There comes the ring off. Okay, now the choke will work there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this ring and we're going to put it on here on this side. And flip it over. Looks like it fits better that way. Put the ring over here on this side. Then we're going to try to get these lined back up. And back on there. Like that. See? Now the choke's going to work. So like I said, somebody might have took and put it on there wrong in the beginning. So I'm gonna run here and get another tool real quick, and I'll be right back with you. And that's a project I started this morning. I'll kind of let y'all in on sway bar links are broke on it, so I'm putting new ones on it, and I'll show you how I started doing that. So, but I'll be right back with you. We'll get back to the basics on this. We'll go ahead. We got that back together. We'll go ahead and put the nuts back on it. Choke's working now, so sorry for the inner pause on the video there, but I had to get a tool. Anytime you're doing something, y'all know how it is. You can't think of everything at the same time, so you gotta go back and get something here and there, because you think you got everything till you get to where you're doing. Okay. Now, 10 millimeter, snug these back down. Okay. This one's a bit harder to get onto. Snug this one down. Like I said, I think somebody had this one here wrong to start with. All this is the breather box. Keeps dirt out of your carburetor, out of your motor, your pistons and everything. Alright, there's that. Now we're going to go back to the metal piece and put it back up in its square. Sits right there perfect. Put our filter back in. Turn it around. Fits better like that. See? Now we're gonna go ahead and put our breather box cover back on. I know I'm bouncing the camera around a lot, guys, but I'm trying to do this close up where you all can see what I'm doing, and I hope you can. Put that one in there, get it started. Once it's started, get the other one, put it in the bottom, get it started. That way you got one tight and one won't line up. I've had that many times. Okay, I got that one started. A Phillips screwdriver. We'll tighten this one up. Okay. Go down here to the bottom. Tighten this one up. Double check. Yep. Look at that, guys. Just a little alteration putting it. Like I said, it was probably supposed to be like that to start with, and somebody moved it thing to the inside, and that's probably what caused all the damage to this box. It wasn't sitting flat. That's choke on, that's choke off. Okay, that's all back together. Alright. Now back to the other issue with this pressure washer that I was talking about when I first got on. That the pressure gauge on this thing, he said when he was running it, that the pressure gauge would leak water all the time. So I have already checked the pressure gauge, so it's going to be easy for me to take out and show you what the problem is and the fix about it, what to fix on it, and it's simple. Just a quick run to the auto parts store and about probably less than $1, you know. So I'm going to show you that. Then I'm going to turn the fuel on this thing, and I'm going to pull the rope and see if we can't get it started. And no dripping gas. But we can't run a pressure washer long because there ain't no water going to it. It's an oil-filled pump, but water also helps keep the pump cool besides the oil. So you don't ever want to run a pressure washer for just a second, but you want to hear it start and run, and no gas. When you turn the gas on, you don't want to see gas leaking down it and all that stuff. You know you got that fixed. So that's all we want to do. So now let's look at the pressure gauge on this, and I'll show you what the problem is, and I'll show you what the fix is. So now I wish I could get this camera better, but I don't like somebody filming with me too much because I kind of like to hang out by myself. But anyway, here we go. Let's look at this. That's your pressure gauge right there. It's your pressure gauge right there. It goes inside there. You push it inside, and then you push this down. It goes in behind that lip and holds it in. Okay, I've already pulled this up. What you do is take a screwdriver. I actually use these pliers right here. And take it and open it up. Use just one side of it. And get underneath it and pull up. And it just pulls straight up. Once you get it so far up, then you gotta take you a pair of like channel locks like this, grab a hold of it, and just pull, wiggle back and forth, wiggle it back and forth, and as you wiggle it back and forth, kind of pull out towards you. As they can take a little bit of work to get them out of there because they've been in there so long. But this one already I've got out to inspect it. Okay, that's all it is right there. If your pressure washer is not pumping water or leaking water, if it's not pumping water, then this pin right here, usually it gets froze up, and it either freezes up out here and it won't push down, or it's pushed down and won't come up. So
you can always take you a little small pair of pliers. You don't want to booger this up at all. Put you a little penetrating oil or something on that and get that pin working just like that, you know, so real smooth and everything, and put it back in there and it'll pump water like it's supposed to. Okay, but what I found with this one, with it drip, he said it was leaking water down all the time, you know, while you were running it. And what I found with this one, I took it apart and it looks like from the little grooves and gouges that somebody's took it apart before, but not him. So what I found is you got two O-rings on there. You got one on the outside and one on the bigger one on the upper right here. They're like about 20 cents a piece at the auto parts store. And look at that, look at there, guys. See that break in that O-ring right there? That right there is why it's leaking and dripping water. Unfortunately, I can't get the O-rings till tomorrow, so I'm unable to fix this part till tomorrow. But we are going to see if this thing starts and runs without leaking gas down on the ground and everything and stuff. So, but we're only going to run it for a second. So let's see what we can do over there. Let's just stick this back in there a little bit where it won't fall out maybe. And then we're going to see if we can't get this. Because if we turn the fuel on like before, you got a fuel valve over here on and off. And when I turned it on before, changing the carburetor, I mean, it was just pouring gas down the float bowl, just on all over the place. So now that I've got that new carburetor on there, it shouldn't do that. So let's turn the gas on. We know we got gas in the tank. And watch it for a minute. We're not going to try to start it yet. We're going to sit here and look at it and watch it. And there's no gas in the ground. So, voila, we done something right. So, like I said, guys, it's either just them carburetors. I think that carburetor was $22, if that, free shipping. So that's Amazon for you. Like I said, you can get it in a day and a half tops. I mean, you can wait that long, you know. So anyway, we'll go ahead and we're gonna, gas is on. We know it's been long enough to get gas in the float bowl. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to start it now. So we're always going to choke it the first time. As soon as it starts, pop that choke back off. Okay. Let's see what we get. Okay. Choke's on. Here's the pull rope over here. Let's check the off and on switch. It was off, so we got to turn the on switch on this one. Guys, you can't get no better than that, I don't think. That thing runs like a brand new one. Smooth. And I don't know, that's got a little bit of gas over there, but that was from old stuff from pulling that gas line off. But anyway, there you go. Alright, like I said, this has been my start of the morning right here. These are sway bar arm bushings. They go under there. I had cut them in two. That's the easiest way to get them out. If you're going to replace them, why sit there and ratchet on a bunch of rust like that? Because you're going to replace them anyway. You get brand new everything. Supposed to have two rubber bushings on top, one in the top, one in the bottom, one in the top, one in the bottom, and then you bolt it together. They go in the
sway arms up there. You can kind of see the holes right here. It was not but metal to metal, to where it was wearing the inside of my tires a little bit and stuff. So I'll try to get and show you how to install the new ones. I got both sides out this morning early, and I got them both cut out with a grinder. So I'm replacing both of them because both of them are in the same condition. My vehicle wasn't taking curves real good, and it's wearing the inside of my tires. So we're good to go. And like I said, as always, if this helps you out in any way, please like and subscribe to my videos, because I need more subscribers, and I'm trying to get my channel going here, and I would really appreciate it if you hit that bell, hit the like and subscribe. It's free to do so, and it's going to help me get my channel up. So, you know, I'm sitting here holding this camera for you guys. You know, I can fix my own stuff all day long, but I'm doing this for you, and hope it helps you out. Same situation on this pressure washer with a lawnmower, generator, weed, you know, just about anything, you know. And you can get on Amazon and order your parts cheap. And so, but like I said again, please like and subscribe to my videos, and I'll keep putting them out. So, you know, like I said, look at this truck. I did this, so I got on this morning, and I am going to film some of it. That way you know what I'm doing, and I'll show you how to put the new one in, and at least one of them. And I just showed you how to take them out. Take a grinder, anything kind of cut off tool, hacksaw, anything, whack them in half, pull them out. Bottom will fall out the bottom, top, pull it out the top, throw it down. You go get some new ones, and I'll try to show you how to put those together. And those are simple too. Just need a wrench and a socket, ratchet them together, and put your bushings in the right spaces and stuff, and it's easy. But I'm just trying to show you all this stuff, you know, keep you from having to spend a fortune at a mechanic shop or something, you know. And so give me a like on my channel and subscribe, and I'm out of here. Thank you.